Ladies and gentlemen, it's what you've all been waiting for here. I'm Chuck D, double E, as you all know. Welcome to Chuck D After Dark Podcast. That's DEE After Dark Podcast. We're here live on YouTube, Instagram, and we'll be doing it on Facebook. So make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe buttons, and give your boy Chuck D a little bit of support out here. So we're going to get right into it. As you know, I used to work at Danny's of Windsor, so we're going to be bringing on some Danny dancers from the past, and we'll be bringing in, I think, Anaconda, Dante, um, Primetime Dion, be bringing in Tokyo. I got a lot of special guests coming on, so make sure that you guys tune in every other Thursday for the brand new podcast. That's Chuck D After Dark Podcast. Going to be talking about strip club stories, nightlife. We're going to be bringing up a lot of the gossip that happens, and any questions that you have for me or whatever, feel free to ask. I'm going to get right into it. So, what got me into stripping? And the reason that I'm going to talk about myself is because I feel that I'm the only one that could bring this out, and I have a lot of gossip today. So, what I wanted to talk about was when I first started stripping, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was a cage dancer at Rumors nightclub, probably 92, 93, 94 area. And I used to be a cage dancer where you'd go up in the cage and dance 45 minutes, get a 15-minute break, dance for 45 minutes, get a 15-minute break. And you'd wear glow-in-the-dark stuff and dance in the club all night and sweat your ass off. I remember one time I was in the top cage and I come down walking on the steps and I see this pretty blonde. Her name was Kim. And she comes up to me and says, "You should be a stripper." And I was like, "No, I don't think so. I don't." She goes, "I'm telling you, you'd make so much money." And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I want to strip. And she's like, "I think you would do great. Oh my God. You would make lots of money." So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a try. She goes, "Well, they have Sunday nights at Mannequins Nightclub on Michigan Avenue. I've been telling my friends about you, some of the other dancers, and I told them that you was a white boy who could dance his ass off." And I was like, "Well, just tell them, I'll be there this Sunday." Well, I didn't show up on the Sunday. And then the next thing you know, they's like, "Where's your white boy? Where's your boy who could think he could dance? This. Where's he at?" So they embarrassed her. So she came back to me the next week and says, "You made me look stupid." So what I did was I says, "You know what? I'll make it up to you. I'll for sure come this Sunday." So I walked in. I met the two guys who was kind of like talking junk, but not really talking junk. One was named Dante, which is one of my best friends to this day, and another dancer named Darian, who was one of the best entertainers I've ever seen in my life. So I want to give shouts out to them. Next thing you know, they introduced me to each other, and next thing you know, it was almost midnight, and I still haven't went on stage yet to audition. They didn't even know I could dance or anything. So Kim gets mad, and next thing you know, she goes over to Doc Moses. "What up, Doc?" And Doc Moses goes, "Yeah, let's just put him on stage right here at midnight." So the next thing you know, I went on stage and I came out to that song. "If you don't want to party, then you should go home. Got this and that, and 69 boys got it going on." So I came out to that, made like $400 or $500 in one set. And I was like, oh my God, I've never made this much money in my life. Mind you, I'm from a small town of River Rouge. We're hard workers. We do everything that we need to do to make money. Whether it be hustling, whether it be dancing, whether it be working in factories, you name it. From River Rouge, we're Rouge tough. We do it big. Class of '87, shout out. So next thing you know, I made like $400 or $500. And I was like, man, you know what? I don't think I could go back to my day job now. It was crazy. I was working at a Levy company, Edward C. Levy. They're on Dix Road in Detroit. And then next thing you know, I was going to myself every Sunday. I found myself going to mannequins and making more than I was making at Levy. Then the next thing you know, I was coming in late every Monday, and next thing you know, hey, what's going on? Why are you so late every Monday? I just gave him some lame excuses. He found out I was dancing. Next thing you know, they ended up letting me go. So then on a Sunday night, I went in. I was dancing on a normal Sunday, and this lady by the name of Karen, who happened to be the general manager of Danny's, was like, "Hey, why don't you come work at Danny's? Why don't you come this weekend and check it out?" So I was like, "I don't know if I could get totally nude." She goes, "They will love you, Chuck. They will love you." So I went and checked it out. Didn't know what to expect. I walked in, and next thing you know, I seen all these naked men flopping around, penises hanging out, you name it, dicks hanging out, whatever you want to call it. And the next thing you know, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "Holy shit." And she goes, "Watch the next guy coming out. He's only 19 years old. They call him Hockey Town Eddie, and the girls love him." So I looked at the stage. I went to see what he had. Next thing you know, he comes out in a Red Wing jersey. The crowd's going crazy. I was like, "I feel this energy, Karen. I think I could do this." Next thing you know, he's got a Red Wing jersey, takes it off, stands upside down, butt ass naked, hard on and everything, doing push ups upside down. Girls going crazy. The rest is history. And I was like, "That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do." Chuck D wants to get on this stage, make money, make the crowd go crazy. And that's what I want to do. Next thing you know, I was like, "Man, when am I going to start?" She goes, "First of the year." So I'll never forget me and my buddy Ron Thompson, which is AKA Maverick. We went on the same day, had dinner with the boss. She got us our dance cards. The next thing you know, we started working at Danny's. And I'll never forget one of the main reasons why I didn't want to work at Danny's is because I always had something to tell you guys, everybody, family members, girlfriends, stuff like this. I had ED, erectile dysfunction, because of diabetes. Um, my dick wouldn't get hard. I was embarrassed by it. I didn't know how to do anything without. Let's see, how do you do it? Have sex without taking medication. So next thing you know, before I'd go on stage, I'd have to take a half a pill of Viagra, a pill of Viagra. Next thing you know, it'd get hard enough for me to get by with having erectile dysfunction. Now, I know you guys are going to laugh at me and everyone's going to make fun and everybody makes jokes and stuff like that, but I've had diabetes for 41 years. And it's taken me a lot of effort to come forth and tell you guys this. Now, yes, I had ED, but I got more pussy than I can guarantee than anybody can even imagine or dream of. I took a lot of medication, but I never disappointed. For the first couple years, it was hard for me at Danny's because next thing you know, the pills quit working. So I went to my doctor and I went to a girl by the name of Lori Harrington. And we used to date for a long time. And she goes, "Chuck, there's hope for that. Not only there's pills, but there's injections." And I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, just go just see your urologist or whatever it's called." And he says, "Well, Chuck, because of diabetes, it's not going to work unless you take this shot." And I was like, "What do you mean shot?" "Well, you have to put it in the shaft. Next thing you know, it stays hard." So I tried it. Next thing you know, I was like, "Oh my God, it stayed hard." And that's why I could always have sex. Next thing you know, since 93, nothing would ever come out. Even when I would shoot blanks, no cum, no nothing would ever come out. That's why I was not able to have kids. And all the girls would be like, "You didn't come yet. You didn't come." Yes, I did. I was just shooting blanks. I came like 3, 4 times a night. Y'all just didn't know it. But I wanted to come out and tell you guys that. So next thing you know, I started going on stage. And when I went on stage, um, I'll never forget. It was like a Saturday night, packed, over 1,000 women, 1,000 women, and I forgot my medicine. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Oh my God, 1,000 women? What am I going to do? I can't get butt ass naked in front of 1,000 women and not have some type of erection or anything. I'll be embarrassed. So I was like, I told my DJ, I never forget, I send our pro shop girl, Melissa, to go get me an apple pie. Shout out, Melissa. I said, go get me an apple pie. She goes, what? I said, yeah, just go get me an apple pie. She goes, gets me an apple pie. I tell my DJ Brad, shout out DJ Brad, shout out Kern, my other DJ who started me out in the business. Kern, I love you. Robbie, I love you too. DJ Brad was like, you're gonna do what? And I said, like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck a pie on stage. And I was like, what? I said, just follow my lead. Just follow my lead. I'm gonna stick one finger in the pie, get it nice and wet. I'm gonna stick two fingers in the pie, get the pussy nice and wet, which is a pie, but that's what I'm gonna refer it to. Stick three fingers in the pie, get it real loose. Ladies, is that pie wet enough? Watch out what Chuck D does with that thumb. I'd literally stick the thumb, act like I'm sticking in her ass. But after that, DJ Brad would say, hey, Chuck D, is that pie wet enough? I'd take out the whipped cream, put the whipped cream on the pie. Next thing you know, I'd stand upside down. Ladies, how many of y'all want to see Chuck D eat your pie? Crowd going crazy. I'd start eating it. Next thing you know, I'd spit out the cum, act like it was the pie juice, like it was cum. And next thing you know, Brad would say, ladies, everybody on their feet. I need everybody screaming, everybody shouting. If you want to see Chuck D, fuck your pie. Next thing you know, I'd start fucking it, banging it out like it's a piece of pussy. Next thing you know, I was like, I thought it was going to be a joke, but everybody went crazy. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. Everybody went crazy. And I'll never forget that. It made me feel so good inside, like I was worth something. You know, even though I was Chuck D and I had this persona and I could dance and I could put on shows, but it just made me feel good as a different way that I could still please people even with the motherfucking pie. So I started doing it on the girls at the crib. Next thing you know, everybody's loving me. I'm like, cool. And that's what got me to do the apple pie show. All because of that. And that's what made that pie success. I remember going to Vegas one time and a guy come up to me and he's like, hey, are you Chuck D? And I was like, yeah, why? What's up? He's like, I just want to say thank you. I was like, why? What do you mean thank you? He's like, you did this apple pie show or something? Or I was like, yeah, what's up? And I just want to say thank you because after my wife seen that pie show, I got laid every day for a month straight. And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, I just want to say thank you. And I couldn't believe it that somebody recognized me way out in Vegas. I said, well, where does your wife live? Oh, she lives in Wisconsin, but she flew all the way in for a bachelorette party. They went to Danny's, and all she would remember was you. So that made me feel good. I want to give shouts out to some of the guys that I used to work with, man, that meant a lot to me over the years. Dante, you're one of them, and I just want to say I love you. I hope you're doing good. AKA Aki, the Anaconda. What's up, my man? You know who gave you the Anaconda name. I just want to give you a shout out. My boy Hockey Town Eddie, man. I love you, Eddie. We used to play a lot of video games together. We used to gamble a lot. Used to take a lot of my clothes. But little did you know, I wanted new clothes anyway, so I needed that shit kicked out of my house anyway. You just happened to do all the work and take it out for me. Another one I want to give a shout out to is my boy Stan. He's had some hardships over the years, but he's very successful, doing good. Big time actor in LA, and I just want to say what's up, Stan. My boy Dion, primetime Dion, my nemesis, my what do you call my rival, but ended up becoming one of my best friends, one of my dancing buddies. We used to battle all the time. Young Chris, going through a divorce at the time. You always looked out for me, ate a lot of late breakfasts, kept me company, and I wanted to give you a shout out too. Some of the old school dancers, Michael Knight, rock, the old school rock, the new school rock. Cody Wild, Renee, my boy Adrian, Jean-Yves, Thomas, God rest his soul, Thomas, one of the greats of all time at Danny's. My boy Justin, who gave me my first box back here, as you can see. Gave me my first box when I first got to Danny's. And next thing you know is like, I took off after I met all these guys. These guys mean the world to me. I haven't heard from Antonio in a while. He got in a bad car accident. He was never the same. He was in a coma for 3 months. The doctors wanted to pull the plug, and his dad said, "No, that's my only son," and kept him alive. I hope he's still alive to this day. Love you, Antonio. Thinking about you. I want to say thanks to the Katzman family over there at Danny's for keeping me a job. I love the Katzmans. They gave me a platform to make who Chuck D was. Renee taught me a lot of shows at Danny's, Thriller, Hand Jive, Village People. He taught me how to perform. So I'll never forget my first Dancer of the Year. It was in 96. And I was like, man, I'm going to blow these guys out. Ain't nobody mess with me. Next thing you know, my first Dancer of the Year, I didn't even place. A guy by the name of Jean-Yves won in 96. James won in 97. And my heart was broken. So I'll never forget, I went upstairs mad, and Cody Wild was like, Chuck, why you mad? I said, man, I could dance better than all you fools, man. And I didn't even place in the top 3 again. That's 2 years in a row. He goes, Chuck, you have to put on a show. Not only dance, but you have to put on a show. Little did I put on a show. 98, I did Shocker. Won Dancer of the Year for 98. 99, I did the Egyptian show. I had 4 of my best buddies at the gym carry me in. Derek Johnson, John Simmons, Frank Murphy, and I forgot the other guy out the top of my head. But I had 4 of my bodybuilding friends come in, carried me in on the throne. I did the Egyptian, Michael Jackson into the Egyptian Lover. And then I won 99. 2000, I won it 3 years in a row. In 2000, I did Titanic. I did the whole skit. I did from when my mom came out as the old lady, threw the necklace over the side of the ship. I was in the tuxedo. I ended up crashing, dying as Jack floated off into the water. And then I came back to life in a tuxedo when the clock was on the wall. And I did It's Time, that real good techno It's Time song. Then in 2001, I won the 4th year in a row, and I did Gladiator. I grew my hair like out in a Caesar. I did Maximus, and I won that year. Then in 2002, Dante beat me, and I was kind of upset about it. 2003, I got my title back of Dancer of the Year. I did an Eminem 8 Mile skit. I had a lady at Why Not Costumes build me a whole Eminem house, his house off 8 Mile, made it look just like the one on 8 Mile, but built it out of cardboard. It was amazing. So what would Chuck D do? That's always been my phrase. I snuck a 5-year-old girl in the club through the side door so she could play Lily. And then I remember going through the club with my garbage bag and headphones to that song by Eminem. And the next thing you know, I get up. We had a trailer park built in the club, and she's laying in the bed. And I remember singing the song to her. I know this girl, her name's Lily, and it's past her bed, Time. And then I sung the rest of the song, and then I was like, all right, good night. I gave her a kiss on the forehead, and I let her speak in the microphone. She goes, you only get one shot, Uncle Chuck D. Don't blow it. And the crowd just rose. And then I did the Eminem whole rest of the skit and blew it up. Did Lose Yourself and everything. Everybody went crazy. Shout out to Eminem. Then in 2004, a young gun came up, man, and beat me, blew me out, man. My boy Stan, I love you, brother. Young Stan come up, one of the new hottest guys out. And then the following year, my boy Dion beat me prime time. Dion, what's up, prime time? He beat me in 2005. I thought I should have won that one, but I lost. And in 2006, I got it back again. And then I ended up losing in 2007 and have to retire. And everyone's like, well, Chuck D, why did you retire? And I used to come up and always say, oh, I had health issues and health reasons. Well, I always had diabetes, but didn't have the health reasons and issues yet. So what happens was there was some weed on me at U.S. Customs. And next thing you know, I got arrested. And then I had to plead guilty with possession and never got to cross the border again. I'm not going to get into the logistics of it, but I was very upset. My family was crushed. I was devastated. To not even have a going away party at Danny's, it really crushed me. It really it hurt my heart, you know. Um, it was one of the most devastating days of my life. I ended up waking up in the hospital bed, handcuffed to a bed. Next thing you know, the guy looks over to me and he goes, "Hey, Bruce, you look like Bruce Willis." And I was like, "What?" I said, "Man, you're crazy." He goes, "Yeah, I'm on this morphine. I got shot in the ass, but man, you look like Bruce Willis." And I was like, "Damn, man. Well, I'll take it as a compliment." But he says, "Yeah, you look like Bruce Willis." And I was tripping because kind of do look like Bruce Willis a little bit when I get bald and everything and stuff like that. Some of the gossip at Danny's, you know, one of my favorite shows also, not only was some, like Thriller was one of my best shows that I loved. I loved teaching it and doing it, especially around Halloween. We would decorate the whole club in Halloween. We'd build a cemetery. We'd come out doing Thriller. That was one of my best shows. But one of my best shows that I liked is the shower show. Adrian did it. My buddy Joshua did it. My buddy DJ did it. Young Chris did it. But the reason everybody liked the shower show is because they turn off the lights and everybody get real dark. So we try to pick the baddest girl in the club and take her quick to the corner. And we take her quick to the corner, and you can imagine we all wanted to get a blowjob. So that's why we always hurried up, rushed them, took them to the click. As soon as we can get them to the corner, lights went completely dark. Next thing you know, they're doing the shower show, the Purple Rain. And Purple, I was like, here's my song. Picked the baddest girl. She's hugging and kissing all over me. Could barely see it because it was so pitch dark. And then next thing you know, you see my buddies on stage doing the shower show. And my boy DJ did it one time. And from a distance, you know, I didn't have the best vision, but from a distance, when the Pert shampoo would hit the dick, it would always glow in the dark. For some reason, they had some type of ingredients in that Pert shampoo. When neon hit it, it'd make your dick glow in the dark for some reason. And I was like, from a distance, I was like, man, that motherfucker looks like a Lincoln log with some paint on it now. So I remember always, every time I'd see DJ, I'd say, hey, man, what's up, Lincoln log? And he would just start laughing and laughing. And I'll never forget another one of my favorite shows. I like doing hand jive. And the reason I like doing hand jive is because you have to get everybody involved when you do hand jive. You have to get the girls because the girls have short tolerance. Once they get drunk, they want to get up and dance and act like a damn fool. Even my girls at my job, that's what they want to do. When they get drunk, they want to dance on the couches and dance in the chairs, dance on stage even when they're not supposed to. And next thing you know, it's a free-for-all. So I was like, man, we got to put some shows together that these girls can dance to too. And one of them was hand jive, and one of them was village people. So you get 1,000 women, everybody doing village people, Yes, it was corny. Sometimes it wasn't the best choices, but the girls loved it. And I mean, they loved it. When you did them type of shows, they loved it. Shout out to one of my homeboys, Cash. What's up, Cash Money? We're going to have Cash. Cash the Marine's going to be on this show. Can't wait to have Cash on there, man. We used to have the Chuck D. Cash birthday bash. Man, nothing more wilder than Cash. Guarantee you, no one's done more women than Cash. Guaranteed. Even more than Chuck D. And I've done a lot. And everyone's like, well, Chuck, that's the most frequent question anyone's ever asked me. Chuck, how many women do you think you slept with? I'm just going to give you an overall number. No less than 1,500 and no more than 3,000. And I know that's a lot of women. That's crazy, as a matter of fact. That is absolutely crazy to think about it now. I used to have so much sex that all I want to do is go home and watch Sports Center. A lot of the girls, they'd come over after, or we'd go to a hotel party. Next thing you know, but everyone's like, well, Chuck, how'd you have sex if you got ED? Should I bring my go-go juice? That's what I used to call it. It's called Caverject, Caverject. I'd hurry up, use the bathroom, stick it in the side of my shaft. Next thing you know, within 5 minutes, hard as a brick. One thing I'd do is I'd knock the girl out real quick in the bathroom, hit it real quick. Next thing you know, all my boys are, where you going, Chuck? Where you going? Oh, man, I'm tired, man. I just wanted to come hang out for a minute. Next thing you know, I'd go home, have another girl waiting on me. Dick could still be hard because it lasts for about an hour and a half. Smash another girl out. Next thing you know, I'd wake up the next day, have to go to work. Now, mind you, I was only supposed to take this medication like once every 3 days. I was taking it at least 5 times a week, and on Fridays and Saturdays, twice a night. So I would take it one during my show and then one after my show. One during my show, one after the show. If I felt like I didn't have an apple pie or something and I just wanted to show it so the girls could see it and get all excited and shit like that. So that's what I did on a regular basis. I always like to go have fun with girls. But there's one specific story that I wanted to tell. I told you I was going to tell y'all some gossip. I'll never forget I went to this river by the Ambassador Bridge. There was a certain park. And this girl know who she is, so she's probably going to see this and be like, Chuck, you're fucking crazy. So me and my boy went, and he was going to get a blowjob. I wanted a blowjob from the same girl. He's like, fuck it. Let's go get it. Next thing you know, she takes off her false teeth, puts them on the picnic table, puts her hair in a bun, says, let's go. What would Chuck D do? Chuck D got a gummy. That's it, right? Chuck D got a motherfucking gummy. Felt good. I mean, what do you expect? So that's just one of my crazy stories. Another time is me and Cash took a girl down to the river, and I'll never forget it. He kept telling the girl, man, hey, girl, man, you want to do both of us? And she's like, yeah, let's go. So we took her down the river. I'll never forget, half his ass was out the damn Mustang. It was in my Mustang, my black Mustang. Half his ass and everything. She was bent on her knees, ass too, hanging out the Mustang. Cash is hitting her from the back. She's blowing me in the front. Now, mind you, Cash is hung. That motherfucker's at least, I'm telling you, at least 10. 9 to 10, flat out. And what does he do? Smashing it. What does the girl do? Turns around. I said, fuck me harder. And I was like, damn. Go ahead, Cash. He goes, oh, you're going to get a girl now, girl. And that was one of the most craziest times that I remember with me and my boy, man. We had a good time. I know he's going to kill me for saying that, but fuck it. I mean, yes, we were all male whores. Has anybody offered me money for sex? Yes, absolutely. I've been offered thousands. I remember I was offered one time I can't remember. She argues with me, but I talked to her about it. She says 2,000. I said 3,000. But whatever the difference, I told her no. I don't know why I did it. I was married at the time, had guilty conscience, I guess. I didn't want to do it, but one of the reasons why it made me didn't do it is because I was still making good money off some people. And the French Canadian guys is don't do it. If you do it to them, once you give it to them, then they won't come in and spend more money on you. And I was like, man, and that's true story. Once you gave them some dick, next thing you know, they want the dick for free, and then they wouldn't pay you as much as they used to. One thing that I can honestly say about me was I tried to be nice to all the girls, but I was short fused, had tempers. I always wanted to be the life of the party. So a girl would pay me sometimes $1,000 just to sit with her. And I'd be like, okay, well, I'll be right back. Next thing you know, she'd come at the end of the club. I'm dancing for somebody else. She'd get pissed at me. I says, look, I cannot stand in one spot all night. I understand you paid me, but I got to move around. So I explained it to her. She goes, okay. So then I started making excuses to girls. I'd tell my boss, hey, I got a customer coming in tonight. Put me on stage as much as you can because this girl's going to drive me nuts. So he would put me on stage a lot. Then I'd have to go take a shower. I'd tell one of my customers to order me some food. So I used to waste a lot of time and still get paid. I just knew how to hustle it. I was one of the first members at the club at Danny's to get a massage for $500. You can ask anybody. You can ask Dante, one of the first guys. But man, it's like, Chuck, I don't know what you got going on, but these girls just pay you to massage you and shit. I have no idea. I got to work my ass off for that shit. And I had a big following, but sometimes I just couldn't stay with one girl all night long. Another story is we used to sneak girls up the fire extinguisher, up the side, bring them in our dressing rooms. Now, mind you, if we'd have got caught with any of these girls in our dressing room, fired on spot, guaranteed. We'd have to sneak them up, but there'd be 1,000 women. The managers would have to be on the floor. The girls would act like they're leaving. They'd come up to our room. After we do what we had to do, then they'd go right back down the fire steps, go out, and come back in and pay cover again. Crazy as shit, man. Crazy times. One of my other favorite spots in Danny's was in the back of the club. There was another bathroom that nobody really even knew about, and sometimes it wasn't working or whatever. I'd tell the girl, meet me back by the bathroom. I'd sneak in the bathroom, do what I had to do. Next thing you know, I'm coming out, act like nothing happened. So yeah, I was sneaky. Yeah, I did my dirt. But one thing about it was Danny's was one of the best clubs. Not because of the sneaky shit that I did. That was shit that I wasn't supposed to do. And if Mr. Katzman would have ever caught me doing some shit like that, he would have, for sure fired me. 100%. If Matthew Ordewer would ever catch me doing some shit like that, no matter how big my name was, yes, they would have fired me. So it was crazy at the time. It was crazy for me to even think about doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I felt like, man, I like living on the edge. I like living crazy. I like living wild. And I did all this shit without drinking. I never drink. I had diabetes. I've had diabetes 41 years. I had diabetes when I was dancing. Everybody'd have to give me orange juice or sometimes give me food or sometimes I'd always be sucking on a lollipop because my sugar would get low through the night and I'd always have to start dancing. Another thing is one time I took a girl home. I'll never forget it. This girl was bad as hell, man. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And next thing you know, I go down on her. And I'll never forget. It smelled so bad that I almost threw up. And this girl, man, when I mean 10 plus out of 10, I was like, what the fuck? So I'll never forget, I act like I had a sugar attack, and I hope God's not mad at me for this. I act like I had a sugar attack. I told her to go get me a Big Mac and fries. and apple pie. And next thing you know, just so I wouldn't have to smash it, I ate the pie and ate the Big Mac and fries, Diet Coke. And I told her I wasn't feeling well. And she's like, oh, that's okay. I'll just come back tomorrow and we can do it tomorrow. Man, as soon as I shut that door, man, I was like, oh my God, that is crazy. That is crazy. Girls used to take me on vacations all the time, buy me things, buy me big ass TVs. Girl bought me a brand new Mustang one time. Um, yes, a brand new Mustang. I'm not gonna throw her name out there, but she knows who she is. I'm still friends with her every day. Every T and Air, every Jordan. She'd stand in line to make sure that I had the new Jordans or the new T and Airs. All I'm gonna tell you is her first name was Sarah. And that's all I can tell you because I don't want to throw her name out there with without everybody knowing her business. She's got a family now, and I have to respect that. There's also girls that used to be in love with me, man, just wouldn't take no for an answer. And I'd always, get in arguments with them on purpose just so I could go out with another girl and stuff like that. One of my key things that I used to do was I'd get a new girlfriend probably every spring. And I'd be like, man, my last girlfriend took my bike. I don't have a new motorcycle. What am I going to do? And a girl I'd be dating at the time, well, I'll put it in my name. I was like, you will? And she's like, yeah, I'll put it in my name. And I'm like, man, you will? You'll do that for me? Sure enough, November come around. I quit fucking them. They get mad at me. I want my bike back. You sure can. It's wintertime. I don't need no bike. Go ahead and get your motherfucking bike. Take your bike. Take your bike and shove it up your ass. Next spring, it got bad that I did it so many years in a row. At Bright Kawasaki, Power Motorsports, on Dix, they would start filling out paperwork as soon as I walked in with a girl. They would start filling out paperwork because they knew I was coming to get a brand new, one of the most best bikes out, Gixxer 1000s. That was my favorite bike. Everybody knew it. Girls were lined up to buy it. So that was one of the issues that I would do to girls that I'm not proud of. And I'm sorry, ladies, for even doing that to y'all, man. I loved you. There were some girls that I really, really, really did care about that I met at Danny's over the years. I'm not going to give them their names, but they know who they are. They were special girls to me through thick and thin. A couple of them, one of them was went through when I made Bubble Butt. Another girl was she's married now and got kids. I don't want to say her name, but she knows who she is. She lives kind of up north. I always loved her. And then there's a couple more other girls that I really loved a lot. I was married one time, and I ended up getting divorced, like I said. Um, there's a girl that really helped me out. I mentioned her name before, Lori Harrington. Been with her on and off 30 some years, and she helped me when, like I said, I had problems. She got me to the doctors to get me help so I could perform in the bedroom. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. So that's why I wanted to do the After Dark podcast, because I was always a night person. Even when I danced at Danny's and stuff like that, I was always doing that. And like I said, there's so many other stories that I could get into about Danny's. But one of the craziest stories was when one of the girls wanted to buy my pie after I fucked it. And the DJ's like, hey, you're not getting that pie. It's $100. She goes, I'll pay $150. And Brad, we started like an auction. And one time a girl paid $200 just to buy the pie. And the next thing you know, she's eating the pie. And was like, damn, that girl's crazy. I can't believe that. So we started auctioning off the pie every week. we was just like, fuck it. We started auctioning off the pie. I'll never forget when I first started working at Danny's. I think table dances were $5. Then they moved it up to 7, then to 10, and then Chuck D got it up to $20 a song. The reason I took also get off the subject of doing these young lady females wrong and using them. Yes, I used them for the money. Yes, did I love what I was doing? But they was using me too. They wanted to be around me. Back then, we didn't have the Facebooks and Instagrams and lives and podcasts. None of that. We just started getting out the next toe walkie-talkie phones. We started talking through that. So if I'd have had social media back then, man, we'd have been in trouble. One of the things that I also wanted to talk about is why I took pride in Dancer of the Years. Even though, like, I won like 6 out of 12 years, that's average of 500, is because when I performed, the attention that I get, the shows, and the money that I'd put into it was second to none. Second to none. I remember I'd spend $1,000, $2,000 on my show to make 3,000, 4,000. I remember the one time, the most I ever made on stage was Titanic 2000. I made 6,000 on stage. 6,000. Took me, my mom, and dad 2 hours. 2 hours to count it because you had to put the loonies, the toonies, the Canadian money, the 5s, 10s, 20s separate from the American money. Then you had to roll up to the loonies and toonies, put them all in different, they're like quarter rolls, but they were loony and toonie rolls. It was a headache. But yeah, $6,000 I made in a matter of 20-minute show. It was crazy. Loved it. One of my favorite shows. I think one of my favorite shows that I really liked, honestly, there's two of them. There's two of them. Actually, there's two of them. I'm sorry. There's two of them. One of them was I got to have two of my best friends at the time all in one show. Give a shout out to Bo and give a shout out to Big Doug. I got to have two of my best friends in a Dancer of the Year show. And Bo was so nervous before he's going on stage. He's like, Chuck, man, I've won national championships in football. I've been in front of big crowds and bars and this and that. Played semi-pro football, this and that. But I've never been this nervous. I said, Bo, you're going to be fine. And I got him to wear a thong, so I was happy. I was happy as fuck because he wouldn't have did that shit for nobody. So, Bo, thank you, and I love you. Doug, thank you, and I love you. Then I got to do shows with my boy Tokyo. Tokyo was in that show. I want to say thank you to Tokyo for coming in my show. I want to say thank you to TikTok, Silk, and Freestyle for helping me win Dancer of the Year 2006. I shocked the world with you guys. We did the Dirty Diana routine into Lose Control by Missy Elliott. And I'll never forget, you guys were like, oh, we're just killing with the Dirty Diana. I says, no, you don't understand my crowd. You don't understand it. The Dirty Diana just won't do it. I'm going up against some beasts, and they want my head, especially Primetime Dion. And he's like, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to the Missy Elliott Lose Control. Lose it makes you lose control. Real fast, up-tempo beat. I'll never forget, we smashed it. Then I came out and did a milk bath routine. Butt ass naked, pouring milk over my body. The milk glue in the dark, for the people who don't know that. Another one of the shows that I really liked for Dancer of the Year was I liked the Genie show. I did I Dream of Genie, and then Bo come out and did rubbing the Genie show, like the magic bottle. And then I came out and I imitated dancers. And another one of my favorite shows was Shocker, when I turned into Elvis, the Beastie Boys, MC Hammer, and stuff like that. Um, I liked shockers. When I was in an electrocution chair, I'd tap the button, my helmet would light up. I'd start shocking, turn into a different character, and I really like that one. So there's so many shows that I've done that I won with, lost with, but there was so many shows that I've done, and one that particularly sticks out, the one I'm most proud of was in '99. I got cut behind stage with a splinter, and next thing you know, it got infected. It got infected, and I didn't know it because it was during rehearsal. Next thing you know, it started swelling up, and when it started swelling up, you could see a streak going up my arm. And my mom's like, Chuck, you better go to the hospital. I was like, man, I got Dancer of the Year. Are you crazy? I'm about to win this bitch 3 years in a row. I can't afford, or 2 years in a row. I'm sorry, back to back. I can't afford to lose this. She's like, well, you better go afterwards. And I'll never forget, it was so swollen that they couldn't even put on the Michael Jackson glove hardly. My boy Josh had to like shove it on when I was doing a routine for the Egyptian show. And I'll never forget that. Then afterwards, it was so swollen that I went to the hospital in Canada. They sent me home 2 days later on antibiotics. I get to Riverside at the time, Riverside Hospital in Trenton, Michigan, and they says, you're about to lose your arm. You see that red streak? The infection's about to get to your, if it gets to your bone, you're going to lose your arm. I'll never forget that, man, off just a splinter because of that's what diabetes can do. So then some other things that I wanted to talk about too is let's see. I want to talk about some of the health issues that I've had. You know, the reason it was hard to dance for me too sometimes during the later part of the years is because I had diabetic neuropathy. And diabetic neuropathy is very, very painful. Can barely move, it was very, very painful. Then it led into over the years with diabetes for me to have kidney failure. April 23rd, 2010, I had to go on dialysis. And I'll never forget, I was in the doctor's office at the time, and I told my mom, I says, Mom, I can't do dialysis. I don't want to live. No, I'm not going to do it. I'll never forget seeing my mom break down, crying as hard as she could. Please, Chucky, please. Your mom and dad loves you. I can't live without you. What am I going to do without you? And seeing that made me cry. And then I'll never forget, I did it. 9 months later, my sister was a match. My sister had to lose 30 pounds, 30 pounds in 3 months for me to get the transplant, or they wouldn't do it because she couldn't be overweight at a certain point, or they wouldn't take a kidney out because it could affect her and her health. So once I did that and got that done, I got a kidney. That was in my dad's birthday was January 18th. I got the kidney January 19th. A month and a half later, my father passed March 6th. God rest his soul. And then a week later, I had retina surgery, and then I went blind for 6 months. So you go from dialysis to a kidney transplant to your father passing to losing your sight, losing your houses, losing your cars, losing everything you ever owned because you couldn't work for 6 months. And I was too prideful to ask anybody for help or money. I was too prideful. So I moved back in with my parents and I had to start from scratch. It was a tough time for me at that point in time with health. You know, if I'd have had an insulin pump like I have now, it probably would have saved my life. You know what I mean? I know how to manage it more now, better than what I did back my early dancing days. I just did whatever the fuck I wanted. I would eat whatever I wanted. Didn't even really take my insulin sometimes. Wouldn't even check my sugars. And that put me in a bad position. health wise, where I've had numerous retina surgery. I had retina surgery. I've had laser treatments multiple times on both eyes, cataract surgery, you name it. I've had surgeries with eyes, and luckily, like I still got some pretty good vision for being a diabetic for 41 years. Um, like I said, my health's been an issue. I've dealt with it, and to all the diabetics out there, like I said, there is help for you, and there is things that you can do now, like the Dexcom goes to your phone, tells you your sugar levels, and next thing you know, when it tells you your sugar levels, you can monitor it better and stuff like that. But I'm going to get off that subject. I want to go back to a couple crazy more stories before I get off on this podcast. I know I'm taking up a lot of you guys' time, but there's so many stories. I just wanted to introduce myself, tell a couple of my stories before I bring on my guys, the Danny Dancers. I know you guys are excited to hear them stories. Like I said, I'm only scratching the surface of what we've been through and what we've done together. Only we understand Danny's, the guys who work there. It's like a fraternity. I can't explain it. Everybody thought, oh, they're gay, they're this. That's because you guys didn't want your women come see us because you know we was going to give them, lay down the pipe to them. That's the only reason why no guys wanted the girls to go to Danny's. But they still would sneak out and they would still come and they would still give me your money. Your money. That's right, your money. So I just wanted to tell you a couple more stories before I get off the podcast. One thing that I would hate when people do is when you tell somebody no, the answer means like no. Like you tell a girl, no, I don't want to go out. Oh, they just keep forcing you and pressuring you and pressuring you. And then like just wouldn't leave you alone. So what I would do is I'd just start sneaking out the back doors and stuff. And then next thing you know, I would sneak this girl back in the back. There was like this like looked like a little valet office, right? So I was like, hey, keep me company for like 20 minutes. They're waiting by my Mustang. Just keep me company in here. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Next thing you know, I'm smashing it out. They'd be waiting so long. Next thing you know, they leave. And then me and that girl would leave. That'd be on the back where it was like a valet parking spot, man. That was crazy. Crazy times. Another bad story that happened to me there at one time was a girl kept me on the box for all night. She says, Chuck, it was a slow night. I'll give you 500. Sit on the box for me. And this is what I tell my girls at my other job. And I'm not going to mention the other job yet until I get off this episode of this podcast. But I might as well mention it. But I work at Subi's Place. Subi's Place has changed my life. The Sods family has changed my life. The Haydu's family has changed my life. And without them, I wouldn't be here where I'm at today. They're literally my second family. And I just wanted to say that I love you guys and thank you for everything that you've done, not only for me and my mother. My mother loves you guys. And I just wanted to say thank you. Nicest people I've ever met. And they treat you like family. And that's why I've been working at Subi's the last 20 years. Subi's Place. My North Line and Southgate. And I know I'm all over the place because there's so many memories and so many things on my mind, and I keep going back and forth. And like I said, this is live and uncensored. I don't have nothing written down, and I don't give a fuck to have nothing written down. This is my shit. Podcast, Chuck D, After Dark podcast, live and uncensored. I don't want everything where it's got to be taken out and put in and taken out and put in and taken out and put in. Fuck that. I want to do live in front of everybody so you guys can see. And that's what makes this special. That's what's going to make this podcast special. So that was one of the reasons why I had to retire from Danny's early. And I'll never forget, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I walked in to Subi's to say hello to some of my friends. I became real close with all the sides and the Hadu's family. I'll never forget, Ali comes up to me and says, Chuck, what are you going to do now? And I was like, I don't know. He goes, why won't you be a DJ here? I go, a DJ? I don't even know how to work a computer. I don't even know how to turn on a computer. I don't know nothing about computers. He goes, well, my best friend at the time, Doug, was DJing. And he taught me how to DJ. So I'll never forget. Taught me how to DJ. So that meant a lot to me. Taught me how to DJ. I DJed there for 4 years. And then Bo taught me a lot. Nevada, Ali, Jason, Stubby. Everybody taught me a lot. I learned a lot from everybody. So there's a little bit of all them people. Can't forget about Jimmy. Can't forget about everybody who's taught me everything. Basically, I know. Jimmy's been one of my mentors for a long time. Jason, Nevada, Stubby, Ali, all of them. I learned something from all of them. Bo, I appreciate every single one of you guys. And the reason I keep repeating their names is because I want to make sure that I got everybody. Like I said, this is live. This ain't censored and where you got to go in and erase this and take this out and put this in and put this out. I don't give a shit about none of that. I speak the truth. I speak what I want. On that note, my kidney failed after 9 years. Then I had to go back on dialysis again. Luckily, I got another kidney in 2001. It's been doing good. It's been going on 5 years. And there's a personal friend of mine that died a year after kidney transplant. What was crazy about it is I looked up, and she's like, Chuck, I'm getting a new kidney. Are you going to come see me in the hospital? And I was like, no, I haven't been feeling well. I'm kind of sick, so I don't think I'll be able to come see you. She's like, oh, okay. Next thing you know, I get deathly sick. So I'm at Beaumont Hospital. I'm thinking about going to lose my kidney at the time. And I was like, hey, do you know a lady by the name of Barry? She's a very good friend of mine. She's getting a kidney. They go, Charles, she's right across the hall from you. I was like, what? I go, can I please just see her, tell her hello, and I love her, and I hope she's doing good. And I went across the hall to say hello. And the kidney didn't work out. And then she ended up passing. She was the nicest lady you'd ever meet in your life. Rest in peace. Love you, Barry. And what was even crazier is my boy texted me. I seen he was sick. And a kid I went to school with, graduated with, was on the floor above me. Kevin Warren. What up, Warren? Yeah, he was above me. So it's like I had all these people around me. It was like, at the time when I was real sick, it was like God sent. It was so crazy. So crazy. And like I said, the reason I keep going back with these stories, because like I said, everything is going through my mind. I wanted to bring everything to the forefront. I wanted to talk about personal issues that has been a big weight off my shoulder now. You have no idea what I went through. Not being able to have your dick get hard at command. It was one of the toughest things I ever had to deal with. Luckily, there's medication out there. Luckily, there's doctors that can help you with it. So anybody who's afraid, there's help out there for you guys. I'm just letting you guys know. what was the fun fact about it is I was one of the top male strippers in the country and in Canada. I traveled all over with guys like Prince Innocent, Tokyo, you name it. Man, went on tour with a lot of people. Next thing you know, things just can fall from you. You know, they can just, it's crazy how you think like you're this star. And even before, from the time I graduated from 87 to 93, I was sexually active. My thing worked 100%. And then in 93, it just quit. That's why it was like, Chuck, why don't you have kids? Like I said, I mentioned it earlier in the podcast. That's exactly why I don't have kids. So look, I'm going to sign off here on Chuck D. Double E After Dark podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Make sure you like it on Facebook. I'm going to get it on Instagram. But the first two I'm going to put it on will be Facebook and it will be on YouTube. That'll be Chuck D. E. After Dark podcast. Thanks for you guys' time, man. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting Chuck D over the last so many years. I'm 57 now, going to be 58 in December. And if you guys ever want to come in and check on me or see how I'm doing, make sure you guys come up and say hello to me at Subi's place. I know all my girls are going to be watching this. They're going to be laughing. They're going to be making fun of me. But you know what? I love them all. They're all like my babies. I love everybody at Subi's place. There's so many names that I haven't even mentioned yet on my podcast, like even from Danny's, because I'm trying to save it because I got to interview them. And I just want to say I'm blessed to be here. Thank God. And I just want to say that I'm signing out. I love every single one of y'all. Thank you. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.